Hi, welcome back. Today's not going to be a knife video. It's just a down and dirty, quick Q&A. I was asked a question on another man's site about a comment I made. Okay, the backstory is on this right here is John at Old Hickory Forge made himself 2 new ribbon burners. He was talking about his buddy going to cut them out and maybe make a kit for him. And without the angle iron, and John had done 3x3 angle iron square for a base. And well, let me show you right here. I was asked to explain this and show it to him on that, so I'll show you some of the things there that they was talking about. This fella asked me right there. Now, John had done this, the angle iron frame is 3 inches. It would be 3 by 3 inches. Alright, and he made a frame out of it for it. And mitered the corners like that. And left the bottom open. He didn't close the bottom up. Let me zoom this back up just a little bit there. More of the paper in there. Okay. But what he did do was he welded in 2 bars across through here. This right here was all left open, and the 2 bars, they was, I think, 1 inch wide. And first of all, he was wanting to know why he done that. Okay, he was putting 2 layers of kale wool in there, right there, and this is the bottom. And he I'm gonna put refractory over top of it. Now, in a forge, the first place it melts out and goes out is the center. That's from your flux and everything else. It just tears a forge floor all to pieces, and it sags. Well, in the kale wool, it'll actually sag. So you can actually cut this metal out and knock it out through the bottom and do it again without having to take a forge apart. Now, that was more or less the reason for that. You could have put a piece of sheet metal, plate steel in there, or expanded metal, or whatever else. But doing it this way, you can repair the bottom and not be out of business too awful long. Now he made 2 ribbon burners. Okay, so this is the base here, like that. It took 10 pound of plus two layers of 2 layers of 1 inch kale wool. That's what he said. So anyway, with that, 10 pound refractory in there, and let it dry, both of them. He done both of them identical. Okay. The forge, the top of the forge, come like this, square, with this hole in it already for his ribbon burner. In the center, not like I've got it there. And then he had just side plates, and he had the end plates like this. Well, let's see. Let me get it up here where you can see it. Anyway, look, it was like this. You had 4 of them because he had 2 ribbon burners. Here, on each side, he welded a table onto the outside of these frames right here, and here, front and back. Now, he wanted to make them in 2-piece forges so he could take it apart and repair it. But he left no mechanical ways of fastening this. Here's the base. And then here's his upper piece. You get a little higher there. I'm getting too right there. Okay. He left no provisions to fasten these two sections together. Okay, now his ribbon burner sits here and his pipe comes off and goes over here and down like that and off to his blower. Now, without any support on this right here, all of this weight will tip this way, the top. Okay. Now what I suggested was to take, I'm going to do a side view right here. Right here. And right there's where they join at. My suggestion to him was, and he pinned the comment, and Mr. John Cannon asked this question, that I had made the comments, why didn't he weld tabs on each side of it so he could set it down on it and it would keep it from tipping either way and keep it from sliding from side to side. Front to back's not a big problem. So my suggestion was, this is the base. And this is the burner. This is the forge box. Okay, is to take and weld 2 tabs on each side. Just 2 tabs, weld here and here. Here and here. On each side of it. Don't weld this to this. Don't just weld it to the base, because the base is going to sit there. The top and everything else, it'll crumble out up there. They all do. Mine's done it a half a dozen times. I've had to fix it, or not as bad, but my Venturi one did. It all the time was blowing the top out, more so than the base. But just weld these 2 tabs on each side. And that lets you he welded handles onto the forge box. Now he already done that, so he could have handles to pick it up. Well, if you don't pick it up and put it straight down, that's what these are for. And that will hold it. It won't go left or right. You can go forward and backwards because it looks like it's probably, I don't know, 24 inches long, maybe. I don't know. I don't think he gives the direct dimensions. May not be that long, but anyway. That being said, that I don't remember exactly. I don't think, maybe he did. But anyway, you've got a lot, and this is about. Looks like this is probably about 3 inches thick. So you got 3 inches riding on this solid back and forth. That's 6 inches of coverage right there, forward and back. But side to side, to either knock it off, you've got only this width right here. Whatever this width is right here is all you got to keep it from falling apart. And with no doors on it, if you push it, if it pulls this way, it's going to fall and go this way and fall apart and blow flames everywhere. So we don't want that. So like I said, just weld them 2 little tabs, 1 on each side, or 2 on each side right there. You don't have to worry about the front and back, just the sides. And they only have to be 2 inches long. Where this seam is right here, we'll set down on it as long as it's flat and level, and both your castings is flat and level. They'll set down and do pretty much a seal itself, or you can run a bead of caulking through here. Right there where it joins the bottom, you can run a little bead of Rutgers fire sealant caulking. It's good to 2,000 degrees or so. It'll hold more than that, just as long as you don't not touching it or anything. But get in there and it'll, you know, you can stop that seam up, and plus it will come loose. It's not like trying to glue everything together right here, you know. With this, I know this is a whole lot of jumbling, but I've tried to explain to get to right here. That's what John was talking about, and I addressed the problem that he was having. Mr. Cannon was asking about why did he leave the hole in the floor bottom, in the forge floor bottom. Well, chances are this will either be sitting on a table or sitting on a stand, and if it's sitting on a stand that don't there, you got better access to getting it to repair it without tearing everything apart. You can fix this floor without taking this apart, tearing all of this stuff apart. That's a pain in the ear right there now. Turn all this stuff apart, especially out of hard pipe. You got to take it apart, and the air, the oxygen, and the flame and everything else the heat will migrate back on this. It does on mine, so that's the reason mine goes right here, and then it goes to plastic, because the heat is usually dissipated by here. Because I'm putting the fuel in right here on mine. And I'm assuming that's probably where John's putting the fuel in on his. I didn't really notice it, and he didn't really spend any time showing how he done it or where he done it at, like that. He was just interested in getting this, showing you how to build this forge, and casting it and setting it and getting it going. He, you know, and plus this right here, he welded, had the tabs right there, and he put welded a nut on there and put a bolt here. Done 4 of them, put a nut, and then welded a bolt so he could run it in and tighten together like it, pinch it. And then when you do that, any slack that's left in the hole, you take your kale wool and you stuff it down there, and you seal that up. Now, mine's sealed pretty good. I mean, I cut mine just nearly perfect down through it, nearly, and I was able to get some a little bit of kale wool. No, I didn't have kale wool at the time, because mine's all done with refractory until the refractory started coming apart, and it was homemade refractory. It wasn't the Cast-A-Lot 30 or the Mizzou or anything like that. So, but the burner's Mizzou. My ribbon burner's made out of Mizzou, casted in that, and so I hope this has not been super confusing or anything. I've scratched my head enough that I ain't got much hair left, so I don't need to make anybody else do that. But that's how it went from, he asked a question about this, and then he asked me a question about this, asked me to draw a picture of it. So I'm going to I couldn't post this to him. All I could do is post it in the pinned comments on Old Hickory's page, or John's. So hopefully, Mr. Cannon, you can see this and understand that you don't weld them both together like that. They're just tabs. They're just like, call it line-up pins if you want to. If you're mechanically inclined, that's what that is, the line-up pins. Welded to the outside of the base to line the top up with the base and to hold it. Because once they get there, that you put this right here like this and weld it to this, and it being up like that, and it's setting down on there even an inch, it's not going to let it give enough. It's going to be steel on steel, and it's not going to let it give it enough. Even if you take all the support out of here, it should hold it. So I hope that helps. And like I said, when I get questions, I'll do my best to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to point them towards somebody that does. If I know somebody, you know, everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and sometimes that other somebody has got an answer for you. It's like, oh, well, I got my horseshoes. I knew a guy that knew a guy who knew another guy who knew a guy. They got me some horseshoes. So anyway, I hope that helps. I'm gonna call it right there and everything. So till next time, this is Bobby Shields saying, God bless.